Appreciate you stopping by, my movie peeps. Let me give you the movie news. Some of the things we'll be discussing here today, guys, is we got the first teaser trailer for the live-action Spider-Man Noir series. Marvel looking to show very little faith in the upcoming Ironheart series. A teaser trailer that's gonna prepare us for tomorrow's full Superman trailer. Oh, we're gonna be diving into that along so much more, so you guys know the drill. Leave your opinions down below, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's jump into the first story. And well, one of the first things I want to discuss here is we got the first official trailer for the sequel to Nobody. I don't know how many of you guys checked out the Bob Odenkirk action movie Nobody, but I do recommend it. It fits right into that genre of actors in their 50s and 60s, but are believable action stars. You know, people like Liam Neeson in Taken, Denzel Washington in The Equalizer. Bob Odenkirk plays this retired assassin, and for this second movie, it looks like he's going on vacation with his family because they're tired of him always being away and doing missions. But when they end up on vacation, there's an altercation with an employee and the daughter of Nobody that causes the violent beast in him to come out, causing a chain reaction where he'll actually figure out that the cops in this town are dirty, and now what started off as a simple family vacation has now turned into a fight for their lives. I feel like this sounds like a whole lot of fun. I've of course enjoyed Bob Odenkirk since the Better Call Saul days, but he's got some great comedic chops in him, and now seeing him as this action star, sure. I think there's always something so relatable or refreshing about the ordinary looking guy who can actually beat up 10 dudes all at once. So I'm really sold on just Bob Odenkirk, but also the fight choreography looks pretty well done. Got me very excited for Nobody 2. Are you someone that's going to be checking out this movie? Next up, we have Marvel looking to just want to bury the Ironheart series. So it was rumored today that we were supposed to get the first trailer for Ironheart since it is a month away from releasing. And well, we did get brand new footage and some shots of Ironheart, but it turned out to be in the form of a featurette where they then told us we'll actually give you the trailer tomorrow, the day that the new Superman trailer will come out, making it seem more and more likely like Marvel just wants to bury this thing and release it under the radar. And it's just a real shame because even the way they're planning to release this doesn't scream confidence. They're going to be dropping all 6 episodes in 2 batches, 1 week apart from each other, the first 3 on June 24th. And look, I've been honest, am I excited for the Ironheart series? No. But that's become less of a comment on Ironheart or the material itself and more on just how they've handled Disney Plus shows, and how an article has recently even come out where Kevin Feige admits that they feel like homework. The Ironheart series is in a funny position because this is homework turned in so late. This show finished filming 3 years ago in November of 2022, and in that time frame they've held on to it, not talked about it, and Marvel's gone through some changes where I'm not sure if Ironheart Riri Williams fits into those plans, but it's made, it's completed, and they have to release it now. So them releasing the trailer the same day as a big comic book movie is going to put out their trailer, and them just dumping all 6 episodes in the span of 2 weeks doesn't scream like they're all that confident or they care all that much about this show. But this is hopefully also one of the last times we have to deal with something like this, because that Marvel article also mentioned that they're not going to be doing stuff like this, where characters that were prominent or introduced in movies would then just be getting random TV shows. They're going to be sticking to more street level, grounded things that don't heavily impact the MCU. I do hope it's good though, and I don't want anything to fail. I do like the idea that this show is supposed to be technology versus magic. That's a cool premise on its own. How are you guys feeling about the way they're handling the release of Ironheart? Something I am extremely looking forward to and was caught off guard when they dropped a little teaser trailer last night, Spider-Man Noir. We got our first look at what the live action world is going to be looking like, and man, I'm so excited. Like, I am watching this footage, seeing actually Spider-Man Noir translated to live action. All I can think is, Sony, why a TV show? Why can this guy get a movie? Look at this shot. Aw, dude, come on. Make that a movie. The show is going to be following Nicolas Cage, who's a down-on-his-luck private investigator who used to be a superhero, Spider-Man. And now all these years later, he has given up the crime-fighting life, but something drags him back in. I think a really cool thing also is that the show will be released in black and white or in color, so you have the choice of which way you want to watch it. I think given the material, I'm going to stick to the black and white version. And also because I think I'm better than you. I said it. I'm not going to hide it. I'm not better than you. But yeah, even though it's just little snippets of footage, I am still very pleased, very happy with this. I can't wait to check it out. It's going to be releasing sometime in 2026. How did you guys feel about the first look to Spider-Man Noir? And well, speaking of little teaser trailers and things being released, tomorrow we are getting the big Superman trailer. Let me tell you, the marketing is starting to kick off for this thing. We are promised Warner Brothers is going all out with making sure this movie is known to the world. And so far, people have been complaining that the marketing for Superman feels a little somber. But we're already seeing merchandise collabs. There's even a burger collab up in the works. And all of it after tomorrow is supposed to kick into full gear. And just these little snippets of footage that we get, just seeing the shots that we haven't seen before of this movie, even though we've already gotten a teaser trailer, a 5-minute sneak peek, a featurette, I still think we know very little about this movie. The plot is still kind of a mystery to us, and even just the shots of him like fighting the Hammer of Baravia, it makes me wonder, how long is this movie? How much goes on? Kaijus like Luthor, Hammer of Baravia, all these other heroes? It definitely worries me that the film is just going to be one giant jumbled mess, but I'm giving my faith into James Gunn, and I can't wait for what this new trailer is going to show us. Hopefully it doesn't show too much. I would still like a lot of the surprises saved, but at this point, they've already shown us a lot. I think the main thing I kind of want to see this time around is a little bit more of Superman's powers, whether his heat vision, his ice breath, and maybe just a general sense of the plot. Because right now it just feels like Superman is just punching a lot of people, which is cool. I want there to be a cool plot too. How are you guys feeling with the Superman marketing starting to kick in full swing, and what are your hopes and predictions for the Superman trailer tomorrow? Next up, something got announced that I also was really not expecting, and that's a spin-off TV series from the Creed universe. We have Variety here reporting Creed spin-off series set in Delphi Gym ordered at Amazon. It's so interesting how far the Rocky Balboa franchise has come that now we had 3 great passing of the torch movies with the Creed franchise. And I truly mean that. I loved the 3 Creed movies that we got. And it only makes sense to me that we would somehow continue it, whether with more movies or I guess now spin-off. But there is something kind of sad about Sylvester Stallone no longer being that part of it. I know there's a lot of internal turmoil between the rights owners and Sylvester Stallone. I mean, Stallone has even talked about he had an idea and pitched a show where he as Rocky would be training a boxer and they'd end up down in Mexico and we'd get a look into the boxing world there. But Stallone and the rights owners are not on good terms, so instead we're getting this. I'm even more surprised that it's only Michael B. Jordan executive producing and not somebody like Ryan Coogler, who really kickstarted off the Creed franchise. The idea of us just focusing on the gym where he trains in and maybe just following other up-and-coming boxers, yeah, I feel like that could be a good story. I do wonder what would really differentiate it from it being set in the Rocky universe, whether it'd be more children of other past fighters or just random name drops of, oh, you remember Rocky? Crazy he's not here. So I'm wanting to give it a chance, but yeah, I am kind of sad like Sylvester Stallone just isn't heavily involved anymore. How are you guys feeling on this Creed spinoff? And well, that brings me into some like rather disappointing freaking news, man. Last night people got the chance to watch Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, which, fun fact, last night I had the choice to watch Final Destination or Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. And your boy chose Final Destination. But looks like maybe I didn't make a bad choice. I will have that review out later today, so be on the lookout of the channel. But for the people who chose to watch Mission Impossible, I'm kind of surprised by the amount of negative reviews. This was supposed to be the big finale. Tom Cruise could do no wrong. These movies are like peak cinema, and reading some of these reviews is breaking my heart a little bit. So let me get into like the really positive ones, because there are positive reviews. Where one we have here, Tom Cruise is forever the king of action movies. Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning raises the bar with one of the most intense and spectacular action sequences ever filmed. A vastly satisfying conclusion to a 30-year story arc. This is the reason to go to the movies. Another review here says, The Final Reckoning isn't just the best Mission Impossible movie, it might be the greatest film ever made. Emotionally and gritty, with mind-blowing stunts and a career-best performance from Tom Cruise. An apocalyptic all-or-nothing finale brilliantly directed by McHugh. And so, although, like I said, I am disappointed with some of these reactions, there are plenty of people saying it's the best Mission Impossible, it's exactly what you want from the franchise, it's a good conclusion, but then there's some people that are making me worried. Like some of them that say here, when it's not overloaded with nostalgia bait archival montages and baffling editing choices, Mission Impossible proves proves to be a fun, albeit underwhelming conclusion to the saga. Jermel Tillman is a certified scene stealer and Simon Pegg is the MVP this time around. A review here that says, Mission Impossible The Final Reckoning is dull and dysfunctional in a way I don't think this franchise was capable of. Set pieces are obviously incredible, but as someone so supportive of Cruise's crusade to save the movies and whatnot, this is a massive heartbreaker. Another review here says, Mission Impossible The Final Reckoning is oddly the least action-forward entry in the franchise. It's long, it's plotty, it's repetitive, but when those scenes do hit, holy sh! They're incredible. So I'm pretty mixed on it. Overall, high highs, low lows. Another review here that said, Mission Impossible The Final Reckoning, I love this series and I think all the movies have their charms, even 2, but this is extremely messy with way too much exposition, and yet the grand finale is so jaw-dropping intense, I feel like I was going to throw up. Complimentary. And so there's a lot of that. There's a lot of people that say, hey, the action scenes that you do get, which actually aren't a lot in this movie for a 3-hour Mission Impossible film, those scenes, breathtaking, amazing. They'll have you grip into your seat. But everything else in between is kind of messy, weird choices, some nostalgia baiting, trying to connect it all to the other movies. I saw multiple people bring up things like The Rise of Skywalker and The Dark Knight Rises as a comparison to where this finale goes. I don't know, I think there's definitely a good amount of movie bros that expect so much from this film that they just had so much pressure that there's already such a high bar set with the Mission Impossible movies that even just a good movie is disappointing in the Mission Impossible world. So that's kind of what I'm gonna want to take away from all these reactions, is that maybe it's just good. It's not great or excellent like a lot of the movies have been in the past, but it's a good movie, and good for Mission Impossible is pretty disappointing. I can't wait to see it for myself. I'll still be able to get you guys an early review next week. And heck, maybe now I'll come out enjoying the movie a little bit more because now I can tame my expectations. But some of you guys see these reactions for Mission Impossible The Final Reckoning. Are you a little disappointed? Are you heartbroken? Or did you see this coming? Anyways, that is all movie news we currently have going on right now. I want to thank so much for taking time out of your day to watch me talk some movie news. Don't be forgetting to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Follow me on Twitter at 3C Films or on TikTok at 3C Films. But as always, I'm Chris. Take care.